subplots of this fixture tonight. Inter looking to make it 2 wins from 2. Roma looking for their first win of the season, and Pereira making his Inter debut. So here we go, Roma to get us underway. A team that really struggled away from home last season in their indifferent campaign, just 6 wins away from the Olympic Stadium. And there's the first of those tasty challenges we were predicting. Tony Dorico watching this one with me. It's all set up.
It most certainly is, and I think what is ever so important for both of these sides is really to put on a good show and try and show that they can challenge Juventus over the course of a season. These two sides certainly are fancied to do exactly that, but what they won't want to do is lose to each other right at the start of the campaign.
Here's Totti. He wasn't caught by Guarin. He thought he was. Inter, who finished 2 points ahead of Roma last season to grab the last European spot. Roma have now finished 7th and 6th in the last 2 seasons, certainly looking for an improvement on that in this campaign. Zanetti. We've seen plenty of these fixtures down the years. Guarin almost getting through. Totti takes over once more. Balzaretti to his left. Florenzi on his full debut. Rossi, long way out, and a long way off target.
It certainly was, but at least they kept the ball quite well. It's very interesting to see how Roma develop over the course of the season, because clearly they had a new manager in Luis Enrique last season. Now you get another one in Zeman, and the philosophies are pretty different. But I think what they both want is to let the Rossi try and hit the target from that sort of distance.
Castellazzi continuing in the Inter goal. Still not fit enough to make his debut. Florenzi. Osvaldo's cross. Still alive here for Roma. Throw to the visitors. First touch for Destro. Eagerly anticipated debut.
Most certainly very exciting young player. And Roma are delighted to have captured him, and it's a really strong front three they've got.
Pereira on his Inter debut. Over 15.5 million euros from Porto. There's been a reshaping of both these squads over the summer.
No, there has, and I think it's just who can settle first really and get that understanding of what the coaches are after. But it certainly isn't easy, and especially if you look at Roma's defence, I mean, it's always very important to build from the back and keep it nice and solid. Of course, Roma now are playing 3 new players there, so that's going to be difficult for them to get that understanding. Hopefully they can do that very quickly, but of course with the way Zeman likes to play, it's all about attacking play, and that will make it that much more harder.
Here's Milito. Sneijder leaves it. Guarin went for the chip over the top, blocked by Castan. And this is Destro. Nagatomo for company, looked to pull the shirt initially. That's actually gone Inter's way.
I'd love to see actually how many times each other pulled each other's shirt there, and that's just absolutely ridiculous. Saw last night in Milan 1 or 2 penalties given for that. Pazzini was the beneficiary on that occasion. Just got to be careful, certainly inside the box, but that occasion went Inter's way.
Gargano finds his fellow countryman Pereira. He can't find Milito though. Upfield from De Rossi. Cassano. Is there a script written for him against his former club tonight? Well, the referee says play on. Pereira's cross under pressure, and it's too deep. Kept in by Balzaretti. Florenzi. Gets it back from Totti. There's a bit of space here for Roma too. And he's picked out Destro. Needed dealing with by Ranocchia.
It certainly did. It was an excellent flying move, wasn't it, from Roma? And you can see already the Zeman philosophy. Once you get that ball, it really was put forward very quickly. Everyone willing to run forward. And from defence, they put it into attack. And unfortunately, Destro couldn't quite find that quality to get that ball in the box.
You shouldn't be surprised, really, with the Czech Republic coach. You were telling me earlier on when you played for Torino, a couple of your teammates had played under him, had some interesting stories.
They most certainly did, and that's one place wherever Zeman was managing I wasn't going to, because I tell you what, they did some running, and his teams are always extremely fit. And we used to think, certainly in England, some of our pre-seasons were crazy, but I tell you what, under this man here, he will make sure that all his players are very fit indeed.
Fouled by Destro. Nagatomo. An interesting duel, that one tonight.
It is, and Nagatomo, of course, from Cesena in the last season. Good player, have to make sure he covers well. But already you can see the space. It's surprising out on the pitch. There is plenty of space to be played into, and if you can get it forward nice and quick, you really can attack the opposition. And it's interesting, Serie A these days, I mean, we talk about the great Italian defences, but I'll tell you what, I think it's a changing, simple as that, and maybe Zeman, finally, his tactics might be just about right for this era.
Destro once more, so plenty of early touches. Osvaldo. Totti square, he might go alone. That was the end result.
Well, it was, but I think we'll forgive him that because we know he can score. What a fantastic goal he scored last week. Clearly full of confidence, and why not? What you want your striker to do once he sees the side of the target, try and hit it. Unfortunately there, couldn't quite manage it.
He scored last week, adding to the 11 he got in 26 games last season. And a team that was often struggling. Rossi with Zanetti. Still making challenges at the ripe old age of 39. Zanetti.
I don't know how he does it. Just absolutely incredible. What a servant he's been to the club. He is a top-class player, but there, slightly outfoxed there from De Rossi.
Appearance number 802 for Inter tonight. He's actually 3 years older than his manager.
It's just incredible. And I think certainly of the era of the players that can last longer and longer in Italy, the way they really do look after their players, whether it be physically, mentally, off the pitch, is so important. And clearly he lives the right way, and he's been absolutely tremendous.
Stramaccioni was saying this week that he actually spoke to him about resting him in the Europa League qualifier on Thursday. Zanetti was having none of it and played, and Stramaccioni called him quite simply the bionic man. Bright start from Roma though.
It has been, and they're not intimidated at all. Way to Inter. Clearly it's a very important game. You think, right, we'll keep it nice and tight initially, but having none of it, being nice and positive. I think Zeman's interesting because he doesn't like, clearly, the ball going from side to side. He does think in lines up and down the pitch, and that's exactly the way they're playing. If they can get it forward, they will, with quality and pace.
Balzaretti. Capture from Palermo in the summer. De Rossi. Good challenge by Pereira. Now Sneijder. Milito to his left. Looking for Cassano instead and found him, but in long way out. Point by Castan. Pereira into corner.
That was better possession, wasn't it, from Inter? And Pereira, you know, down that left-hand side, he really is a good physical athlete to get up and down. And already we've seen him tear forward. A couple of crosses that occasion. Wins inside a corner.
Inter's first of the game. Can they threaten from this set play? Which is going to be delivered by Sneijder. Silvestre is in there, Ranocchia too, but it's gone short to Cassano. Blocked by De Rossi. Zanetti goes all the way back to Castellazzi. Sent off here in the Europa League qualifier in the week. It's still negotiated through 4-2 on aggregate and into Group H of that particular competition. Sneijder. Keeper from Pereira.
Disappointing again, wasn't it, from Pereira? He's already done a couple of those that went high, wide, and not very handsome. And there, Balzaretti, new left back for Roma. I was impressed with him as well in Euro 2012. I thought he played particularly well. Unfortunate then to be left out, but very good player. Likes to get forward at will. And clearly he'll fit in quite well to the Roma's new system.
Gargano looking for Milito, who won it in the air. Balzaretti away. Lovely touch from Totti. It's a nicely weighted ball to Osvaldo. Important interception from Ranocchia. It's blocked and straight into the path of Destro. Osvaldo. And Zanetti reading the situation to clear for Inter. Certainly started on the front foot. Tachsidis. Balzaretti on the overlap. Wanted the return, it didn't reach him. As I say, 27 yellow cards in the last 6 league meetings between these two. Roma haven't actually beaten Inter in the league here since April 2007. Get a point with a 0-0 draw last season. Different philosophy, I think, under their new coach. In from De Rossi. By Silvestre. Totti. Florenzi. Osvaldo, and gathered eventually by Castellazzi.
Well, Silvestre there just about did enough, didn't he? That was dangerous, but the spaces are really out there. I'm still surprised there are so many spaces there for Roma to get the ball down and play and comfortably then turn. If you do give players like Osvaldo and certainly Totti space and time, they're going to make you pay at some point. So at the moment, I think the Romans looking impressive in there. Just about Silvestre gets away with that one.
Pereira. Cassano. Teasing Piris. Now can Pereira deliver a better ball this time? It was an inviting one. Stekelenburg got a faint touch to it.
I think he probably had to, wasn't sure what was behind him, but Pereira's getting them slightly lower. That was a little better. I think the next one could be spot on. Here we see it again. Good left foot. It's a good area to put it into. Unfortunately, just a little high. Stekelenburg not really sure what is behind him. Better get a touch, better safe than sorry. But this is always going to be important as well for Osvaldo as a front man to hold it up nice and tight. Really draw fouls when you can as well.
De Rossi. That'll still come through to Totti. What a good ball, free header. 1-0 Roma. And what a moment for Florenzi. On his full debut, it's a dream start. Inside quarter of an hour, Roma in front, and Alessandro Florenzi marks his first start with a goal.
And what a well taken header that was, but you give Totti time and space, and he will make you pay. And what a fantastic ball it was, but what a midfield run as well. Still plenty to do. Once he gets onto his right boot, he picks the run out. Still plenty to do because it's slightly behind him as well, but he steers it into that far corner. Castellazzi was guarding his near post, couldn't get there to the far post. That's some debut, isn't it? Go away to Inter Milan and you stick it in the back of the net, and no more than Roma deserve, because I thought so far for the first 15 minutes been very impressive. They've been positive, they really have found that space, and Florenzi is the man to put them 1-0 up.
This time last season he was on loan in Serie B with Crotone. One substitute appearance for Roma to his name. Inter looking for an immediate response. Milito going through, and Stekelenburg just about timed that to perfection.
We certainly did, and he had to, didn't he? But how often do we see it when a team goes 1-0 up, they just switch off, and immediately from the kick-off they really concede, or nearly concede, an opportunity for Stekelenburg. Excellent save.
Totti with the block. Osvaldo. De Rossi's ball. And Inter again having to scamper back. Nagatomo goes down under the challenge of Destro.
And there was a poor challenge. Nagatomo moved across, got in between the ball and the player, and Destro just went straight through the back of him. I think that's about right.
The first yellow card of the evening. It was never going to go through the 90 minutes without any, and that is why.
Just surprised it was so long, but there, as you can see, Stekelenburg, excellent, wasn't it? Milito didn't quite get the touch. The Dutch keeper had to. It's an excellent run. Balzaretti, no point putting your hand up now. Get back and defend. Keeper did really well.
He did actually get 2 red cards in his debut season last year, the Dutchman. And a couple of irrational moments in that situation, but he got that one absolutely spot on. Nagatomo still getting running repairs. Destro booked on his return to the San Siro, former youth player at Inter. After his 12 goals in Serie A last season for Siena, he was most sought after in the summer. Did nothing more than a win and perhaps even a goal against Inter tonight on his Roma debut. Cassano. Pereira still has it. Neatly done. De Rossi back to help out.
Actually did really well, didn't he, down that left-hand side? And I think Pereira and Nagatomo, that's going to be interesting, because they can really swap around for each other, cover each other when the other one goes forward. Already we've seen from Pereira, does love to get forward up that left-hand side.
Crossfield from De Rossi, away by Silvestre. Guarin gave it straight to Balzaretti, who's got it back from Totti. Crossing opportunity. Zanetti's header only as far as Totti. Nice ball from Balzaretti. Osvaldo, the offside flag was up on the far side. And again, it was neatly worked from Roma.
It was, and they're very comfortable in possession. I'm not sure I've ever seen a left fullback keep it up about 10 times. That's just getting ridiculous. That's just showing the confidence because of this goal. Look at it again. It's a wonderful header. Great time run, but Inter where in the defence? Now, either the centre-half has to pick him up and see him coming, or the midfielder must go with the runner. There, neither happened. End up in the back of the net. So at the moment, Inter really have got some work to do, and they haven't really been able to feed Milito or Sneijder. And there you see the back four of Roma just about getting away with it again. So last week, of course, a high line really did catch Roma out once or twice. I'm sure they worked on that in training to get more of an understanding between them all, and so far they've been okay.
And certainly turning a few eyebrows raised when Zeman handed Florenzi his full debut tonight in such a fixture away from home, but at the moment it looks a masterstroke. Here's Pereira. Cassano's made the run. Milito is offside.
And yet again, the back four of Roma actually did very well. And you can see Castan lets his man run. A good 2 yards offside. No problems there. I think they're complaining more about Cassano playing on and sticking in the back of the net.
There is the aforementioned 65-year-old who in his first spell with Roma between 97 and 99 led them to 4th and 5th place finishes. Led Pescara, of course, back into Serie A last season. He was fairly critical after the first game last weekend, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and especially to Francesco Totti, saying that he was picking up the wrong position out on the pitch. I told him what I wanted to do and he wasn't doing it, which really is strong words from the coach.
Here's Milito for Inter. Piris stood his ground, but Inter have a corner. Quickly taken. Driven in by Sneijder. Stekelenburg reacted quickly at his near.
Everyone was asleep on that one. And certainly the Roma defenders there, they've taken it again quickly and short.
There's the Dutchman once more. In towards Silvestre. Away in the end by Tachsidis. Gargano. Long from Pereira. Now Nagatomo. Roma have plenty of bodies back. Cassano tried to feed Nagatomo. Couldn't quite get enough on the cross. Burdisso just barged his Roma teammate out of the way. He joined Roma from Inter, Argentinian. And again, Milito is offside.
Well, let's hope they got this one right again. As you see, Castan, and that's getting closer though, isn't it? But it's the correct decision, but just got to be careful because if he does time that run, he will be in. Here we see Burdisso, a lot of experience, but he's the only one with the experience in that back four, really trying to marshal them. So far, so good.
Balzaretti, space for Roma again. Desperate defending that time by Silvestre. Both fullbacks have got forward frequently so far for Roma. Sneijder back helping out for Inter. Good challenge by Nagatomo. Osvaldo rode the first challenge. Almost came back to Totti. No quarter given. Referee says play on.
Well, that's better, and that's what I expected at the start of the game. Lots of tackles flying in, not too much space out on the pitch. Well, it's only taken Inter a good 20 minutes to start wiring in with some challenges, and there we see 1, 2, and Ranocchia, I think, from Osvaldo, and Gargano going in as well. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Crunching one between Gargano and Tachsidis.
It was, in those sort of situations you sometimes see the player go over the top of the ball as well, and you expect something quite nasty to happen. At least there the foot was on the ground. It was a good solid challenge, no problems with that.
Plenty to think about for the former Roma youth coach. His Inter team still trail. Bergonzi is going to start with the drop ball here, which is sportingly played back by Inter. Goal scorer Florenzi. Stopped by Zanetti.
I think what you can see about Florenzi, clearly he's physically gets up and down the pitch extremely well, and of course Zeman, when the ball gets out wide, he demands his midfielders, at least one of them, to get into that box. Maybe that's why the young man has been put into this side. He got his goal that way. There was no hesitation, was there? He was straight into that space, took his goal well, and now he's charging up the left hand side of the pitch as well.
Let me point in the direction of some more live football coming here on ESPN after the international break. Saturday the 15th, St Johnstone against Celtic from the SPL is an 11:45 start, also available in HD. And following that from the Barclays Premier League, Brendan Rodgers still searching for his first Premier League victory as Liverpool manager. They go to Sunderland from 4:30. Still 1-0 Roma in the San Siro, followed by Castan. Arrived for €5 million from Corinthians in the summer.
Yeah, the big Brazilian there, taking no prisoners whatsoever. Trying to go around the side, but
had to scamper back again there. It was the Paraguayan Piris. It's another Inter corner.
Got to be alive at the back, haven't they? Because Milito is always trying to run off the shoulders of the defenders. And here again, play is put forward quickly. This time just about gets stopped by the Roma defenders.
Short from Sneijder to Pereira. Useful delivery, well defended by De Rossi. Pereira's won it back, angled it across. Tachsidis kept his cool inside the Roma penalty area. That looks a good ball. Osvaldo and Destro waiting. Florenzi can make anything of it. He's gone down. De Rossi also on the floor.
I mean, De Rossi was on the floor from a very good tackle down the other end, but here you see the arm. And of course, any good Italian player knows as soon as you get your hand placed on your body, you're going down. But this is where De Rossi went down from Pereira, who really is having a fine half down that left-hand side. Got plenty of crosses in. It's a good challenge as well.
It was the other former Porto man, Guarin, who caught Florenzi. De Rossi's back on his feet. And Roma have the opportunity from the resulting free kick. Burdisso is forward. Tachsidis is in there as well. Well defended by Inter. Flick from Totti. Florenzi. Time for Pereira. Now Milito. Cassano. Roma push up once more. No flag this time. Sneijder. He's got it back from Cassano. Can he get it across? Come off the head of Piris. Another Inter corner.
It was, but it's dangerous defending from Roma. Again, they're trying to play that high line. You can tell they're holding themselves, but Tachsidis, someone need to tell him that you're trying to play that high line. He was clearly 5-10 yards back behind his back four.
Sneijder short again. Return ball from Cassano. Excellent delivery. Well, Milito felt he was impeded. The officials didn't.
Well, I think it was Balzaretti, actually. Like any good fullback, he's getting in there, make sure the striker doesn't have a free header. And there you see, right hand side just about gets there. Off. It's awkward. Milito, it's a good chance and a great ball in from Sneijder. What a wonderful ball outside of the right boot. Too much on it he got. Balzaretti just did enough.
So 1-0 here and 1-0 elsewhere in Serie A. Catania trailing to a Cuca goal for Genoa, his first since October. So Genoa have the lead at Catania. Here's Osvaldo. Weave his way through, then went down dramatically. Apparently, Mauro Bergonzi, the referee, wasn't interested. Forward from Guarin. Cassano turning Burdisso. The former Inter defender getting back with the challenge.
No, he did well, but again, the spaces are there. It's a long diagonal pass, and Cassano there finally got on the ball, but Rossi's gone down. Looking at the bench and wanting to change, clearly. There's something wrong there. That'll be a big blow because he's so experienced, and I know lots of clubs have been coveting him, trying to get him before the transfer window, but he's nailed his colours to the Roma mast. He's staying put. Oh, I just love watching this guy play. I really do.
You wouldn't like to manage him?
Well, no, not at all. Not at all. There's no hiding his emotions. Not sure exactly what he gets. As he's getting older and maturing, he certainly is getting better, I think. But there's still a side to him that you're not quite sure.
Well, we understand that Rossi can't continue because of this, Tony, the way he landed.
Well, I think he was going through, wasn't he, with his right boot, full-blooded challenge. He wasn't pulling out, and Pereira was exactly the same, but clearly he came off worse.
Well, they're just double-checking, as you would, to see if there was any way that De Rossi could continue. But there isn't, so Marquinho, the Brazilian who, after a loan spell last season, they signed permanently from Fluminense in the summer, he's going to come on and replace him. Certainly a talent, but De Rossi's influence is not now there for Roma.
I'm sure he's disappointed because it is so important. He really does hold everything together there. Great experience. Unfortunately, he only lasted half an hour.
Nagatomo. Well, there's no flag this time. Oh, it went up late on Cassano. He thought he was onside.
Well, clearly they're playing a dangerous game, but again, it's a good yard or two off. And at the moment, that understanding is there.
There's a yellow card brandished for Guarin. For this.
And here you see why Tossi's certainly theatrics after the ball, but it was a late challenge. Getting nowhere near it. Gets himself a yellow card. I think that's probably just a bit of frustration as well, because they're finding themselves 1-0 down. Roma certainly aren't making it easy for them. I'm sure if he looks back, we'll realise that he was offside.
Well, Belfodil has scored for Parma. They lead Chievo by 1-0. His first goal in Serie A, so they have their noses in front. As do Genoa at Catania, as do Roma here in the San Siro. Courtesy of a full debut goal from Alessandro Florenzi. Here's Destro. A foul on Pereira eventually.
Yes, it was a foul, but the fall afterwards didn't need to be. But some wonderful, good footwork from Destro. He really is a talented lad. He skipped through 2 or 3 challenges, just put the arm out, but Pereira straight down.
Gargano. Pereira, single for the ball on his debut. He's going to go for goal from distance. Blocked by Burdisso, picked up by Cassano. That hit Marquinho. Huge appeals from Cassano for handball.
Well, he's remonstrating with the referee. The referee's having absolutely none of it.
The game is actually still going on while Inter players around the official. Here's Zanetti. In from Guarin. Header initially was from Pereira. Clearance from Florenzi. Better spell from Inter.
It certainly is, but Pereira's on the left, he's at the back, he's absolutely everywhere. And there you see the ball, it's hit him in the chest. Not a problem, just play on. But I think the pressure certainly is building on the referee, and you've just got to be careful now, Roma.
A long-range effort, comfortable one for Stekelenburg. This time from Gargano. Imagine Cassano's appeal if it really did hit him on the arm. Talking about conserving his energy as well to play as many games as possible. He's using plenty of it in those appeals.
He is, but let's not forget as well the make weight in the deal. Pazzini scored 3 last night, so there's no doubt he's feeling under pressure there as well.
Milito. The aforementioned Cassano. Can't get that one right. Stekelenburg just about did. Conceded 40 goals in his 29 games in his first season in Italy, the big Dutchman. Signed by Luis Enrique. He has his clean sheet intact so far tonight. That's a nice ball from Totti. Florenzi.
Unfortunate. Not sure what he's complaining about there, but again, just the Roma get the ball forward very quickly. They get it into midfield, spaces are there, and willing runners left and right. But it's too easy to get out for Roma at the moment. I expect Inter, they're playing at home, to be nice and tight and then snapping away, but Roma really are finding themselves comfortable possession in the middle of the pitch on the ball.
No foul on Marquinho, feet by Guarin. Gargano. One from Sneijder this time. Burdisso was always the favourite. Too strong for Milito. He pulls the idea from Sneijder.
That combination is the one, isn't it, for Inter? I think that they're looking to unlock this Roma defence. Sneijder, he's got an eye for Milito, those diagonal runs, and really Castan and Burdisso at the moment have kept them quiet.
Guarin, he got the last minute goal in the Europa League tie here on Thursday. Sneijder. Pereira. The patient builder from Inter. Gargano has picked out Nagatomo. Milito and Cassano waiting. Nagatomo goes for goal and cannot find the target.
It's a great run, it really is, and just got to hit the target though. He's coming on his favoured right boot. Again, Pereira stays back. Nagatomo goes forward this time, comes inside, hit the target, and also you can see Cassano coming in there. Even if it comes off the goalkeeper, goes back into your striker's path, but not on this occasion.
Foul on Osvaldo. Conversation is still continuing between he and Silvestre. Marquinho. Tachsidis. Trying to lift that forward towards Totti. Rossi watching on. Another goal to tell you about elsewhere in Serie A. Lazio, Roma's great rivals, are a goal up at home to Palermo. Familiar name of Miroslav Klose on the goal scoring sheet. Here's Milito trying to equalise for Inter. Good block by Burdisso.
It was, and there's that run again, isn't it? In between, though. Again, alive and alert, but they're looking more dangerous.
Milito once more. Totti for Roma. Misplaced pass from him. Pereira. Over 5 minutes to half-time in the San Siro. Inter pressing for that equaliser. Cassano. Zanetti to his right.
It was a great challenge, yes it was, and you're right, Balzaretti there really was well. And I just saying the Inter really attacks have been slightly lopsided, haven't they? Pereira on the left-hand side really has been getting a lot of the ball. On this occasion, Zanetti got forward really well. It was a timely interception, and there you see again Milito trying to get in between the two centre-halves.
Sneijder's header. Harmless one eventually. He managed 4 goals last season. He was of course on the score sheet in that 3-0 victory at Pescara in the opening weekend. Right. Ranocchia. Sneijder switching play. Nice take from Cassano. Loose pass from Zanetti, but he got away with it. Gargano retrieves the situation. Just feel a little unrest in the home supporters around the stadium.
Well, it's not going their way at all, is it? Roma come here full of confidence, playing well and knocking it around. Home fans are finding their team 1-0 down, and yes, they've got forward into some decent areas on the left-hand side, but how many saves has the goalkeeper actually had to make? Stekelenburg really has been quite comfortable. They'll be delighted, I think. Zeman and his team, they're getting forward well. Still seem to have plenty of energy there. The spaces seem to be there for them to play in as well. I just wonder if he thinks Totti has taken up the right positions this time. We'll see.
And the whole team got it as well. He called their movement pointless passing last week against Catania. Surely he'll be more impressed with this first half showing. It's a foul on Cassano. Castan, the offender. The former Roma striker has stayed down.
Castan, he's already done this once or twice, hasn't he? A little bit late through the back, and there again. You just know that Cassano will make the most of it.
118 appearances in Serie A for Roma before he left for Real Madrid. They'll have a goal tonight. Inter wouldn't worry who scored it at the moment if they could draw level before the break. Free kick opportunity here. Certainly no shortage of contenders to take this. He'll change his half-time team talk if it flew in. Sneijder. It's fairly comfortable for Stekelenburg.
It certainly was. It was a long way out, but it's a good strike. I'm not sure he held his position, but I think 30 yards out, you'd always fancy the goalkeeper. You see it again, it's a long way out. I tried to bend it rather than hit it straight through the ball, but Stekelenburg got his whole body behind that.
Another goal to tell you about as we approach half-time. Sampdoria leads Siena by 1-0. Maxi Lopez with his first for the club. He's given them the advantage. Still 1-0 Roma here. Final minute of normal time at the end of the first half. Balzaretti. Destro. Neatly worked again, Marquinho.
They're confident, aren't they? They really are knocking it around well on the edge of the box. And I think for Inter, it's certainly concerning. They're not really gaining any sort of control in that middle of the park. I mean, Roma really are quite comfortably playing around. They need to try, certainly, Inter to get it to Sneijder a little bit more. The front three we know can do damage, but not if they haven't got the ball.
Here's Destro trying to get in between the two defenders. Silvestre got back for Inter, just in the nick of time. Nice piece of skill from Guarin.
Well, that was nice. Now, don't lose it. Lucky boy. He got away with it. A wonderful piece of skill. The Inter fans absolutely love that. Looking his way past 2 or 3 players. But you just saw how Roma are eager to win that ball back as soon as they can.
Sneijder. Cassano got goal side. Trying to wriggle away. Cassano deflected! And in! Inside stoppage time at the end of the first half. The former Roma man, with the help of a big deflection, equalises for Inter. What timing! 1-1 at the San Siro.
And Sneijder, it was a lovely ball, wasn't it, to Cassano, but it travelled a long way. And we've seen before the Roma defence hold its line, and said this time they didn't. And it was Castan then that got back. Initially I thought he was going to make a challenge here and actually give away a penalty. Instead Cassano just goes for the hit. Clearly it's a very fortunate deflection. Stekelenburg, all he can do is see it loop over himself. In off the post. I'm not quite sure Inter deserve it, but Stramaccioni, I think, will be absolutely delighted. His half-time team talk, you're right, so you know what? I think we've got away with that first 45.
And just to add another twist to the tale, it was the former Inter defender, Burdisso, who got that huge deflection. 1-1 inside stoppage time. You can see what it meant to him. Particularly fired up in his home league debut for Inter against one of his former clubs. Back all square. Burdisso had a long, hard look at the referee's assistant there and breathed a huge sigh of relief.
More in hope that was, wasn't it? They got to be careful because this high line, and again, when someone has possession of the ball and there's not enough pressure on him, you've got to go with your runners.
Well, it certainly wasn't without incident. The first 45 minutes, it's all square at the end of it. Alessandro Florenzi gave Roma the lead, and then this goal from Cassano with a huge deflection off Burdisso means that we are all square at the San Siro at the break. And it was a break for Inter after they'd struggled for large parts of the first half, but you just knew that Cassano somewhere along the line would have a part to play. We'll have the thoughts of Carlo Cudicini and Gabriel Marcotti when we come back. The half-time scoreline is Inter 1, Roma 1.
Free-flowing football versus direct. Discipline v entertaining. Youth versus experience. What a finish! Two very different styles collide at the Stadium of Light. Rodgers might pander to the purists, but O'Neill has a knack of upsetting the odds.
Would you believe that? He's up to his old tricks again.
Sunderland score a vital goal.
Simply amazing.
Sunderland-Liverpool, Saturday the 15th of September, live only on ESPN.
Get your mobiles and laptops out. It's in playtime. In the next 5 seconds, the latest live odds will appear on your screen. There you go. Have a bang on that. Join Bet365 now for more great odds and loads of live streaming. So, let's get on it, boys. Go. Bet365.com. Bet in play now.
On a normal day, I'm at my desk. This wasn't a normal day. Before I knew it, I was flying to Beirut. We had to get British nationals out of the Lebanon. I had to find out who everyone was and get them to safety. It's not your everyday office job.
Search online now.
The way in the second half, boosted by that equaliser just before the half-time whistle. Scored by the former Roma man with a huge deflection of the ex-Inter player. What will the second half serve up? Florenzi, the Roma goal scorer. Destro dispossessed. No changes incidentally. Remember, Roma had to make an enforced one. Marquinho on for De Rossi. And Rodrigo Palacio is available if needed for his Inter debut, having been suspended at Pescara last weekend. But it certainly changed Stramaccioni's half-time team talk, Tony, that deflected goal.
No, most certainly. I think he'll be delighted to go in at half-time with a 1-1 draw, because for all intents and purposes, well, that was a poor challenge in Ranocchia there, just a little bit late. He's gone down, Marquinho, and yes, he's trying to find his cards. Where did he put them at half-time? Must be one of these pockets, but I think he'll soon find them, because they're poor challenge, wasn't it? It was late, dangerous. And Ranocchia, when he came to Inter, I wasn't too sure, because he had a big reputation. He's playing well, but didn't start brightly. I have to say now, though, certainly is growing into his status, and now, very important, he does step up to the plate, because they need some solidity at the back. If he keeps doing those sort of challenges, he could be a little bit of trouble.
Reminder, Inter made one change tonight. Debut for Pereira. He's seen plenty of the ball, and 3 debutants for Roma. Balzaretti, away by Silvestre. One of those debutants, Florenzi, got their goal. Here's another one, Tachsidis. Oh, look at the space for Osvaldo. What a chance for Pablo Osvaldo.
Should have scored. He really should have done it here. Nagatomo's not sure whether they go or stay back, and it's actually Sneijder who's keeping them on. You never like to see forwards try and defend, and he was the one playing them on eventually. And Osvaldo, though, you expect certainly someone with that sort of confidence. Zeman there, he knows he should have been in the back of the net.
And knowing him, it'll be same again from Roma in this second half. I have to say, it makes for a much better spectacle.
It really does, and it's nice and positive, and it's quite refreshing. I just hope that they get the results that come with that style of play, because that's the concern, and no doubt Roma supporters are thinking exactly the same way. Yes, we'd like to see our team play nice, positive football, but it has to be winning football, and that's the difference. Getting at this into defence, the space is there, they found it, they've scored a good goal. Why can't they go out and do it again? So he'll be telling his teams exactly that.
Destro. Piris. Matthias Destro again. Florenzi. Destro got the cross in. Osvaldo. Good block by Ranocchia, cleared by Sneijder. Bright start to the second half from the visitors. Osvaldo involved in 2 moves. Here's a bit of space now for Totti. Turned into Pereira. Milito got up and running immediately last weekend, but he gave it away on that occasion. Totti. Tachsidis. Inter just can't get out at the moment. Florenzi. Oh, you can see the idea. Aimed towards Destro. Didn't quite have the execution. It's back with Florenzi, though. It still rebounds at Destro. Tachsidis. Balzaretti. No foul. Now can Inter break. Cassano. Milito trying to make the move. Comfortable for Burdisso in the end.
Well, what a great first 5 minutes we've had in the second half as well. Both teams being nice and positive, and can they break? Well, of course they can break. There's so much space out there. Both sides are really having a go at each other.
Here's Destro. Round Nagatomo. Oh, and Osvaldo took that away from Francesco Totti.
There's a chance. Another great chance, and you're right. Totti was coming onto the ball. It's easier for him to see the goal. Did he give him a shout? I'm not so sure, but comes to Osvaldo. Destro does well here. The ricochet falls to the Roma players. Unfortunately, it falls to two of them.
And that was Cassano's deflected goal. And he is the one who departs 5 minutes into the second half to allow Rodrigo Palacio, a summer signing from Genoa, to make his Inter debut. So it's an early change in the second half from Stramaccioni. No foul by Zanetti.
A strange choice. I mean, clearly, I think we talked before the game, as Stramaccioni was saying about the amount of work that Cassano's put in, whether he's 100% fit, so clearly giving him a few more minutes. But 5 minutes is a strange one. Why not do it at half time, or at least wait 15 minutes? However, Cassano did get his goal, so he goes off to some applause, I suppose, after 5 minutes. Now Palacios comes on.
It is 11th Serie A game in charge of Inter tonight. Stramaccioni. They've now scored in 10 of them, Inter. Cassano will watch the rest of this one from the bench. Another of the new boys, Rodrigo Palacio, has around 40 minutes to try and influence matters. Guarin. Space again for Pereira. Guarin onto his right. It's always rising.
Disappointing finish, but certainly better play. And yet again, as you see down this left-hand side, Pereira gets a lot of space again. Favoured right boot, just can't hit the target. Just expect their Inter to try and play a little bit more around that box, and you can sense that certainly Sneijder is disappointed with that sort of play, because once they get it into that third, get 2 or 3 passes in, play the right ball at the right time. They haven't really done that. I think Roma have done that better during this game.
Long from Gargano to pick out Sneijder. And then Pereira. Blocked by Burdisso. Cleared by Marquinho. Inter supporters encouraged. The offside flag is up against a substitute, Rodrigo Palacio.
Here we see it's a run, unfortunately. That's a yard offside. Could have been played slightly earlier, and Pereira seems to be in the thick of things, doesn't he? But Burdisso throws his body in the way. Any good defender does, but he's the man they've got to try and stop down this left-hand side for Inter, right for Roma.
Candreva has added to closest goal in Rome. Lazio lead Palermo by 2-0 now. Here's Destro for Roma. Totti, always stretching. And gathered by Castellazzi. Balzaretti with the interception. Totti. Destro trying to turn back inside. I've said it time and time again, but so much space as each team try and break. And here's Rodrigo Palacio. And look at the space down the middle. Guarin onside. Good block, Castan.
Oh,
incredible.
It is, what a game we've got here. And Castan there, it was an excellent block. There's so much space, and Guarin, you would have thought, if he could have just taken it on a little bit quicker, he would have been right in on goal. Instead, Castan gets out well. And here's the aftermath of it. But the space really is there all to see when Roma commit forward. They just have so many holes at the back. It's a poor challenge, isn't it? A poor touch, initial touch from Guarin. He'll be disappointed with that.
Another goal to tell you about, Marek Hamšík. He's got his second in 2 games. Napoli lead Fiorentina by 1-0. And Roma will probably have to make a change here. Taddei is stripped because Balzaretti has a problem.
That's right. I think the previous run down the left-hand side, he pulled up slightly lame, but there must be some sort of muscle injury. That's disappointing as well. Again, he's having a good game on that left-hand side there. But Taddei, plenty of experience, he'll slot in.
So here comes the 32-year-old Brazilian, now in his 8th season with Roma, having arrived from Siena. This fixture's no problem for him. But 2 enforced changes for Roma now. Remember that Rossi's influence lost with injury as well. Here's Milito, trying to touch it into Rodrigo Palacio. And Burdisso there first.
Needed to be. I think there, Burdisso, excellent defending. Saw the problems, but again, it's a long diagonal ball. They got caught in the first half with the goal. And yet again, it's always on because Roma, clearly at the back, are going to give you a chance.
Wesley Sneijder with the Inter corner. Well watched and comfortably taken by Stekelenburg. First touch for Taddei. Osvaldo. Destro. He was under pressure, but he couldn't get the desired ball because there were 4 waiting for the cross there for Roma.
And he should have done it a lot quicker, shouldn't he? Here you see again, it's a long diagonal ball, 40-50 yards. You see what he was trying to do. And Burdisso just about gets in the way. And Destro there, he had too much time, didn't he? He should have actually driven in earlier, got past the defender, but Guarin actually got back very well indeed to make the challenge.
Roma have the corner. Away by Guarin. One by Taddei. There could be a break on here for Inter. Rodrigo Palacio onside. Trying to pick out Pereira. Curious one from Osvaldo. And Roma thankful they get the free kick.
In this sort of game, it's just physically it's very demanding, and with those spaces, with the attack versus attack, I mean the distances the players are having to cover are enormous. So you have to say, with half an hour to go, who is the fittest side, because that could make the difference at the end. Even just certainly mentally trying to keep that concentration, but obviously physically trying to last the 90 minutes.
Guarin. Important block. To have it back again. Incredible tempo in this match. Pereira. Talking about fitness, he has been up and down that left-hand side.
Oh, he has.
Pereira.
Yeah, and you can tell why. They wanted to get him certainly from Porto. He has been a top-level performer for a number of years. He will no doubt be a great asset to Inter.
Silvestre. He knew he had Osvaldo on his shoulder. Nagatomo. Nicely done from Pereira. Rodrigo Palacio. Quickly moved by Sneijder. Guarin. Onto his left. Good save by Stekelenburg.
It's a difficult one as well because it bounced just in front of him. Well, that was better from Inter. They got that extra pass in. Guarin, we already know he wants to a strike on goal as soon as he can, but that was a good effort.
Corner to Inter. Sneijder again to deliver. Looking for that near post header with Ranocchia. And then the effort from Pereira.
Certainly wasn't one of his best, but there you see at least around the 18-yard box getting a pass in. It was a good effort, it was going in. Stekelenburg had to get down, and there that bounce. Safe just to get his palms in the way, palm around the post.
Foul by Pereira. Florenzi, the Roma goal scorer. His first experience of 90 minutes in Serie A, remember. Well, as long as he lasts, they only have one more change left, Roma, because of the two injuries to Rossi and Balzaretti. Here's Sneijder, into beginning to turn the screw here. Milito left frustrated, that didn't come earlier to him.
You're right, Inter slowly getting on top, but I think it's important that the Roma front three, I mean, they have to start tracking back at some point somehow, but...
That's the ball towards Osvaldo, who's offside. That must have been a close one.
It was, and he was looking across the line as well. He didn't need to get in front. Probably is just about offside.
Guarin, as this game continues to swing from one end to the other, Burdisso's header clear. Well, that was bordering on embarrassing from Pereira.
Well, he tried one of them in the first half, and that was embarrassing, and this one I would suggest is slightly worse.
Megasola has got an equaliser for Siena. Sampdoria, as we see that again. 1-1 between those two. 1-1 here. Sneijder off balance and way off target.
That was disappointing, as we know he's got quality when he gets in those sort of areas. He invariably shows it, but not then. But it's anyone's game, isn't it? Still with just under half an hour to go. It's who can make the right change or just keep their head. And you'd think in this sort of game, the tempo that it's been, it's a mistake may just make the difference.
Very finely poised. Roma's 81st league visit to play Inter here. They've won just 12. They've been beaten 43 times in this fixture. They've given a good account of themselves so far tonight. Inter needed that huge deflection to draw level. That's the man who will claim the goal against his former club. Another goal and another 1-1 scoreline. Catania have got it. Burdisso has equalised after Genoa had taken the lead. 1-1 between those two. As it still is here, as Roma have it with Destro. Gets it back from Totti. First time cross from Destro. Awkward one. Needed dealing with from Silvestre. It's a corner to Roma.
Yet again, when they get the ball, they really do break forward. Then Rossi willing his teammates on. Well, they're having a pretty good fist of it. The defender needed to be alive and alert there. Dangerous bounce just before him.
Totti's corner. It was a training ground move to Tachsidis.
You've seen a few of them, haven't you? But again, look, 3-on-3. It's in the right area. Defended it pretty well. I'm not sure which way this game's going to go, because it's just end-to-end stuff. It's great to watch. I'm not sure it's any good for the manager's ticker, because I tell you what, they would have gone out there with the game plans. Stramaccioni would have said, right, let's make sure we can try and control this game. If they've done anything but, it really has been end-to-end.
They're at different ends of the experience ladder, the two coaches tonight. Stramaccioni, as I say, just his 11th game in charge in Serie A. Against Semen, the 65-year-old, who was actually the same age as Stramaccioni's father. Nothing to choose between their two teams. as we head into the last 25 minutes. That's too strong for Rodrigo Palacio. 19 goals in Serie A last season for Genoa. Nagatomo. Incredible. Genoa, who led 1-0 at Catania and are 2-1 down. The offside flag goes up against Osvaldo. Pereira scored twice in 2 minutes there for Catania, who of course drew with Roma in the Olympic Stadium on the opening weekend. And that was another close one.
It really is, and Silvestre there, I think he's fortunate to just about get away from that one. But again, if you're looking across the line as a striker, just got to try and hold your run. And clearly, they said after the referee got himself into trouble, he took a yellow card. But there's Pereira down with cramp, and there's not strange to see why, because he has been tearing up and down that left-hand side, and every time he's got the ball, he's managed to bring it 40-50 yards ahead into the last third. But physically, it's just demanding.
And that was when he went down. And that looks as though it's as long as he's going to last. Standing ovation for Alvaro Pereira. And the man who was left out to accommodate him tonight is on in his place. Great man of experience to bring on. Different type of player though.
Yes, but I'm sure it's to shore up that midfield a little bit, and you already can see Cambiasso trying to pull the players in and around, because the spaces were there, weren't they? I mean, Cambiasso playing more central, Pereira was out on the left, and because he was getting joy going forward, that it still left spaces defensively.
Gargano. Cambiasso's first touch, and there's his second one. Couldn't find Sneijder. Marquinho. Totti takes over, looking for Osvaldo. He's found him. It's Osvaldo. It's brilliant. And Roma are back in front. 2 in 2 games for Pablo Osvaldo. But what a Roma goal. Created by Totti, finished by Osvaldo, and the visitors are back in front.
What a tremendous goal that was, and again it's Totti, but back three of Inter all over the place. But even so, what a great finish it is from Osvaldo. He gets in between the two centre halves, he sees where the keeper is, he's coming off his line, and he just chips it over into an empty net. It's a wonderful goal. Totti, you give him space and time, this is what he can do. And that's the problem for Zeman. Yes, maybe physically he can't get around the pitch, but he set 2 goals up, and Roma hit the front.
He made that look far easier than it was, Osvaldo. 11 goals last season, 2 in 2 this season. And Inter, who haven't lost here in the league since February, when Bologna won 3-0, are behind with 22 minutes to go.
They have it all to do. It really has been a great spectacle. They're going to try and tighten it up. Certainly not. Not with Lamela coming on.
The final change is going to be Eric Lamela, but only after this Inter free kick. Now, having just gone in front, it's concentration time here as far as Roma are concerned. Sneijder's delivery just over Milito, well dealt with by Burdisso. Back in from Gargano. Wouldn't quite drop to Milito second time. Totti of all people getting it clear. Still no whistle. Desperate challenge, and a very effective one from Castan.
Exactly the same in the first half. Roma could just go to sleep after they scored their goal, and there, a couple of occasions there, Burdisso saved them, and then Castan. 2 centre halves now must be keep it nice and tight, give nothing away, and try and get their team back on the ball.
Taddei with the interception. And they're breaking again here, Roma. Destro just couldn't quite take it with him. Destro. Totti. Osvaldo.
Wonderful ball again. And in fact, Osvaldo is offside, but Taddei, why didn't he shout? Because I think if he left it, Taddei would have been onside. He wasn't going to leave this one though, was he, Osvaldo? You're right, it was such a cool and calm and collected finish. And you're right, it's not an easy skill as well when you're running onto the ball at pace. It's bouncing, you can see it's bobbling up and down, but cool as you like. He catches it absolutely perfectly. He scored a cracker last week. He's got another one just as good this week.
Not surprisingly, ran straight to Francesco Totti. Lamela, the 20-year-old Argentinian, is on. Destro's debut is over. And Sampdoria are back in front at home to Siena. Gastadello has got that goal. They lead Siena 2-1. Roma lead Inter by the same scoreline here. Milito. In from Sneijder, away from Taddei. Totti. Lamela, the substitute. All three changes now made for Roma. Jumped up more in the air when that Osvaldo goal went in than Daniele De Rossi.
Such a talisman, isn't he? He is for the city of Rome, I think, and not only this team. He is superb. It just shows how much it means to him.
Totti once more. Gargano for company. Florenzi. Lamela. Possession from Roma. Sneijder's early ball. Stekelenburg had come a long way.
Not sure what he's doing out there, because surely you have to leave it to defenders initially, but it's that one ball, long ball through again, and it catches Roma out. They're not sure. Fortunately, there wasn't more of a mistake there because Burdisso there. That's the danger, isn't it? They really aren't quite set that back four. It's an easy ball straight over the top that gets them into danger. But with 18 minutes left, I mean, Zeman now made his last change, and you would think normally you would bring on a nice holding midfielder to tighten it up and keep it at 2-1. Having none of that, takes off Destro and puts on the same play just with fresh legs. And for me, that's refreshing to watch.
Couldn't agree more. And at the moment, it's getting Roma all 3 points. And as I say, 80 league visits to this ground. They have won only 12 of them against Inter and lost 43. Still 17 minutes to go, but this would be a huge win in more ways than one for Roma. The onus now on Inter. Totti. Oh, beautiful. Headed only as far as Florenzi. What a chance. What a chance to give Roma a 2-goal cushion.
And I think the problem was he thought exactly that. He had too much time in his head, but what a fantastic back heel that was from Totti. It's an awful header out. And look, when it bounces, he should have stuck it away.
Rodrigo Palacio the other end. Milito leaves it. Cambiasso can't get there. And Piris clears. What an open football match this has been. And it's now a free kick to Inter. Stramaccioni preparing another change. until after the free kick. It's a change in the scoreline they badly need. Sneijder's delivery by Castan. Osvaldo. Inter are keen to make the change. See Stramaccioni desperate to get Coutinho on. Gargano is the one sacrificed, so Coutinho, the Brazilian who came off the bench to score at Pescara last weekend on his first game back, having been on loan at Espanyol last season, is on for the last quarter of an hour. Lamela. Neatly done. Still Lamela. Good cross. Marquinho couldn't quite get there.
It's a lovely ball, wasn't it? We just read it a little earlier. Thought he was going to play in the right back there. Marquinho, unfortunately, couldn't quite throw his head to it. Inter had to make a change, and they had to be nice and positive. Go tighter into the middle with Coutinho, as you see here, pushing on the left-hand side.
The goal to tell you about, it is the second for Napoli. So we'll see another yellow card. It's the goalkeeper Stekelenburg who's been shown the yellow card. And in to have a corner. Back in from Cambiasso. Comfortable for the Dutch goalkeeper. So Napoli 2. Fiorentina 0. Jamali has got that one in Naples to double Napoli's lead. It's Osvaldo's strike that separates the two teams here. And here he is. Lamela. Marquinho. Encouraging build-up this from Roma. Lob from Tachsidis. Let me point in the direction of live football the weekend after next. Celtic go to St Johnstone on Saturday the 15th, 11:45 start. Also available in HD from the SPL, and that's followed from the Barclays Premier League by Sunderland Liverpool. A 4:30 start for all the build-up to that one. Also in HD. Side plug up against Milito. Time beginning to tick away from Inter.
It is, and you see a defender with his arm all over him. Castan, Brazilian. I've been impressed with him. I think Castan and Burdisso, it's important those two get a good understanding, and yes, it at times isn't quite there, but I think as the games progress, let's not forget Castan is his first season in Serie A. What will be expected of him, but I see some good signs between those two.
Stramaccioni has only lost 2 league games since he replaced Claudio Ranieri in March. It's rarely been a dull moment. His first game was a 5-4 win over Genoa, remember. Is this to be the night where Zeman gets his first win of his second spell? Marquinho!
Well, Roma are still attacking, aren't they? And Inter trying to push forward, change their formation, but still Roma poor forward. Cambiasso and Guarin now are trying to sit there, but Marquinho, left foot, they still sense a goal. There's no sitting back, is there, from Roma? There really isn't, and they think, okay, we can go and get another goal, so if they get Inter get 2, we're going to get 3.
Totti looking for Lamela. Nagatomo just about good enough on the header. I'm sure it's not going to welcome welcome sight for some tired legs to see Lamela come off the bench for the Inter back four.
I was just thinking that as a fullback as well, you get rid of one and then another one comes on. And it's been that game so physical as well that it's bound to have an effect, no doubt.
Forward by Cambiasso, understandably keen to get on with matters. Milito couldn't bring it under control. Straighted sugar the shoulders from him.
It is, but that sort of ball is just too straight now and too long. I think certainly when Roma are pushing up higher up the pitch, it's a more dangerous ball, but I'm trying to get Sneijder on the ball in those positions to try and get him to really instigate the play.
Marquinho, he's got the return ball, and he squeezed it in. The Brazilian substitute gives Roma a 2-goal cushion with 10 minutes to go. His 4th goal for the club, and could it be the goal that gives that coach his first win of his 2nd spell in charge?
What a fantastic goal, and I thought initially that he may have just taken it too far to the left-hand side, but none of it. He ran in behind Silvestre, tight angle, shouldn't really beat the keeper at the near post, but Osvaldo with a deft flick at the outside of the boot. He has to cover that near post, he doesn't. Castellazzi is beaten. Marquinho sticks it away from a tight angle, actually just nicks off the post as well. And I think no more than they deserve, because they have been tremendous. They've been positive, they've taken the lead. The changes that Zeman has made as well, doesn't want to sit on that lead. And on this occasion, they got their rewards. However, I don't think it's going to be this smooth throughout this season. No doubt it'll be up and down, but been very impressed with the way they played so far.
Zanetti, well, Inter look a little shell-shocked. Certainly weren't expecting this kind of script tonight. It's given straight to Osvaldo. Roma really have played without any fear whatsoever. Guarin. Good play from Taddei. Totti's played a huge part as well.
No, he has, and clearly in this sort of system that someone wants to play, there's been 1 or 2 question marks. However, he's been tremendous. He's set up 2 of the goals and really has found that space, and his quality on the ball has made the difference.
Ball's behind him though from Lamela. Can Inter give themselves a bit of light at the end of the tunnel? Milito. Guarin. Well, he was fully 45 yards out there.
Well, that was a silly shot, wasn't it? Because we've seen him try and attempt shots from 25 and 30 yards, and they weren't so clever on that one there from fully 40 yards. There is no way he's going to beat Stekelenburg, and now the crowd are convinced that he's not going to beat Stekelenburg either. They're off.
More goals to tell you about elsewhere in Serie A. Dennis has scored for Atalanta. They lead Cagliari by a 1-0. And an equaliser for Genoa. Jankovic has got that 2-2 away at Catania. And a 3rd for Lazio and a 2nd for Miroslav Klose. They're going to take all 3 points. 3-0. They lead Palermo. It'll be a good night for the city of Rome, because 3-1 Roma lead in the San Siro. Where they've only ever won 12 times in a league fixture in 80 attempts. Rodrigo Palacio. Castan with the challenge. Milito. Stekelenburg. sure expected a busier night.
Well, you would have thought so, certainly when you're in the San Siro. However, this is the third goal that really had put Roma on easy street. He certainly deserved it, but
Goalkeeper will be disappointed though.
he will be, and because it's in the near post. You really, from that sort of angle, you can't be beaten from that. But it's only 3-4 yards out. There's plenty of power as well. He either hits him or not, but Rossi is absolutely delighted. I think he now knows that his team were going to take away 3 points. Because he went off after only half an hour, you certainly feel that he would have been out there to try and make more of it. But Cassano there.
What a game between Catania and Genoa. Lodi has restored Catania's lead by 3-2. Parma through Rossi have doubled their lead against Chievo. Cambiasso's shot is deflected for an Inter corner. They need a goal right now to give themselves hope of a dramatic comeback. And that's a Roma throw. Just hasn't been the cohesion for Inter tonight.
No, it hasn't, but I think it's very difficult as well to play against a team that sets up this way in Roma. It's almost like two heavyweights going at it, and one just wants to slug it out, and you've actually got to slug it back. And Inter have fallen into that problem. They've tried to do the same thing. Well, I think Roma clearly are better at it, but Inter, you're right. I think you'd like to think they would have been better on the ball, have more quality in that last third, but they certainly haven't done it tonight.
Steven Jovetic has got one back. Late on for Fiorentina and Naples. 2-1 Napoli lead in that one. Just getting back to that, has Roma's approach perhaps surprised Inter a touch tonight?
I think so, because you don't expect this sort of positiveness from the away side. Yes, we know what Zeman's like. Yes, we know his tactics, but this has really been played out to the nth degree. And they've come and they've started. They've knocked the ball around with lots of confidence. They got their joy. And then you think, when they get pegged back, will they go back into their shell? None of it. They just kept going and going. And it's almost to say, right, we've got that quality. We're going to show you. Let's see if you've got it. And on this occasion, they haven't. And it's just surprising, because there, Pereira, he's had a fine game in that left-hand side. But Sneijder's the one with the quality. He hasn't been given enough of the ball. Hasn't got on it enough to dictate the play.
Milito. Coutinho turned into trouble. Lamela. Tachsidis up one way, Totti the other. It's just too strong for his skipper. Wasn't going to choose the Greek under-21 international ahead of his captain there.
You don't do that sort of thing if you want a long career at Roma. Actually, but talking about the two new players as well, Tachsidis you mentioned there, and Florenzi, I think they both had fine games, and certainly less heralded players than some of the stars out there, but nonetheless very important, both of them in that midfield.
And again, a bold move that was by Zeman.
It was, and it's paid off, most certainly. And Florenzi, the young lad, and he really has put a great shift in. He scored the first goal. He's looked very comfortable up there.
Little over 2 minutes to go. Inter with the free kick. In from Sneijder, touch from Rodrigo Palacio, well off target.
The ball comes in, Palacio just tries to flick it on, but there you see the body language kind of Milito as well. Just, I think they know now. Difficult to get anything from this game.
Scherto, what about that touch from Totti? Eyes one way, ball the other.
We love it. We absolutely love it.
I guess you can do that at 3-1 up with 90 seconds to go. He's found Lamela there. The space in this game has suited him down to the ground.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, as players certainly age, clearly they lose their pace and their speed, but you never use that skill or the vision. And that's what Totti has got. He's always had that in abundance. I suppose Totti was never really, the quickest anyway, so he's developed that skill and he's kept it, but I have to say he's had too much space in those sort of areas, and he's made Inter pay.
Foul on Marquinho. Last 30 seconds of normal time. Cambiasso again commits the foul. Well, this will be a result which the rest of Serie A will sit up and take notice of straight away. 3 minutes of stoppage time left to play. Be a few eyebrows raised by this one. Now, Osvaldo has been booked there, I think, for handball, and if he has, because he's already been shown the yellow card, he's off. And that is the one sour note for Roma. On a yellow, Osvaldo 2 hands up. The referee says that's deliberate handball, yellow card, and they're going to finish with 10 men.
And that was silly. Osvaldo's had a fine game. He's got a wonderful goal. Only a couple of minutes left. You're 2 goals clear. Why do you do that sort of thing? And is he trying to guard his face? Yes, he's looking up at the sky, but you had both arms raised and you just unfortunately invited the referee to give you another yellow card. That was silly because he now misses games that are coming up when his team are in full flow, with a lot of confidence, and he's not going to be playing.
And he is not going to be happy. Osvaldo missed 4 games through suspension in his first year in Serie A, back from Espanyol last season, and he's going to miss some very early on in this campaign as well. On the night when he scored and his team have recorded a very impressive victory, that is the one black mark against it. There's the effort. And Sneijder made good contact, just couldn't quite find the back of the net. It was deflected.
The save from Stekelenburg. It was an excellent contact from that man there. We know his quality. He just showed it then.
He will take the corner in towards Milito. Foul by Ranocchia. Just haven't seen enough of that from Inter, though.
No, we haven't. They really haven't put enough pressure on, and Marati there. He was delighted with the first goal, but he's pretty quiet now.
The 36-year-old is about to lose a league game for just the 3rd time. He's about to discover that one home defeat can often be a crisis at a club like Inter. Such is the spotlight. Huge expectation ahead of the first home league game of the season. It hasn't gone the way they anticipated. Lamela. Final few seconds now. No way through for Sneijder. Well, it's only the second weekend of the Serie A season, and already we have a result for the rest to sit up and take notice of. Roma's first win against Inter in the San Siro in 6 years, and it was a 3-1-1 in the end, and the first for Zeman in his second spell in charge of the club, and it's a 3rd league defeat in the brief tenure of Stramaccioni, and Inter's first home league game of the season ends in defeat, but a big win for Roma. Inter 1, Roma 3.
Fantastic stuff at the San Siro. More live action to come here on ESPN. Saturday the 15th of September, 11:45 in the morning. Catch St Johnstone against Celtic on ESPN and ESPN HD, where you can also find Premier League action that same day. Later on, 4:30 in the afternoon, Sunderland taking on Liverpool. Big game at the Stadium of Light. And it's been an absolutely huge match at the San Siro this